Hi, this is Lori. I'm here today with a journal share, and this journal is for Emily. So I hope you love it. It's a one signature journal, and it's sewn in with a 5-hole pamphlet stitch with waxed linen thread. The base of the journal is an envelope folded in half. So this is the flap of the envelope. And then it's closed with this button closure, button and string. So we unwind it and the journal will open. So here's a few things sticking out the top to enjoy, which I'll talk about as we go through it. And then a few petticoats sticking out the bottom. And then when we open it up inside, there's just a few things sticking out here. I don't put too many things there because they get compressed when we close the journal. So the inspiration for this was this lovely paper from a Trace of Sparkle on Etsy. Many of her papers are included in this along with some other things. And as I mentioned, it is an envelope, so there's the full size of the envelope, and here's its original opening. I think it was something I had actually saved from my son's grade school or high school days that had some treasure of his tucked inside, and I'd had it all these years and it had his name on it, so I thought, well, let's use it for this journal. So when we open it up, the inside is covered with a similar kind of paper from Jennifer at A Touch of Sparkle, and the spine is reinforced on the inside with this text fabric, which has been tea dyed, and it's just this kind of interesting text blocks put together. I slit open part of the envelope and created a pocket here, and inside that pocket is just some paper to write on. This is vintage tracing paper from my father-in-law, who was an engineer. I think I've used his paper a few different times during the journal, and I'll try to point it out. This is also from him. He was a consummate note taker, and when he passed a few years ago, we'd gone through all of his things, and he had many written on notebooks, but also many blank notebooks, and this was one of those. I think they called it reporter notebooks. So it just yeah, he was a big note taker, so I've enjoyed incorporating a lot of his things into my journals. There's a pocket created here, and just a simple tag with this fun set of fibers. I loved using fibers and lace and texture fabrics in my journals, as well as layers of paper. So you can see here, there's a number of layers of different things here. It's just a tag to write something on. This is the first page here. It's a cardstock page, and then I extended it with this book page that I've applied some texture paste to, so I think it looks beautiful and is kind of fun to touch. On the other side, it created a pocket. There's a little flower there with some more texture paste, and then a little tag here that has some black lace on it, and a dragonfly. I love dragonflies. And just something to write, a sentiment or a favorite quote or poem. This is a paper clip. It's an altered paper clip. So tucked inside all those layers is a paper clip. It's functional, and then it's just covered with these items. This is a piece of the paper from my father-in-law again, and just a variety of other things. Some vintage lace and some paper from Jennifer, a Touch of Sparkle, and another fun little dangle that has some different kinds of fibers on it. Fun. It just clips on the page and is meant to hang out over the top a little bit. This is a piece of vintage music paper. This one happens to have the teacher or student's handwriting on it in a few places, which is always fun to look at. And then I've just, this is more paper from my father-in-law, just made a tag and kind of tucked it in here into this uptuck, which makes me think of updo. Just more paper here on the other side to write on. This is just a paper clip that I've put a little bit of lace on. Just makes it look pretty. And then attached to that is this floating pocket, we would call this. It's a pocket. It's actually made from a window envelope that you might get in the mail. And it has some lace on the bottom. I think it's like a skirt or trim around the bottom of bell-bottom pants. This is also what I think about. And then inside is a tag, and there's some space on the back for you to write whatever you wish. It just tucks in there, and it's meant to hang out the bottom to add to the interest. This is a piece of vintage paper from Russia, and it was from a library, and it was a book. I mean, I don't speak Russian, so who knows what it says, but that's what the listing said. It's kind of a book about maybe what you were checking out or checking in, or some kind of inventory. And here's the kind of the rest of it. I cut off part of it because it was too tall. So I cut off part of it, and you know, if you speak Russian, honestly, I don't even know which way it goes. I think it goes this way. That looks a little bit better. But anyway, this is what this paper is, and then the part I cut off, I made into this little booklet, which is designed to look like a tea bag. So it has this string attached with a tiny stapler with a little tag on the end as if it were a tea bag, and some decoration here. And then we just open it up. There's more of that writing inside if you happen to speak Russian. And then inside there's just some things tucked. So there's paper you could write on. You could cut this apart, you know, and use it to decorate other things in here. That would be perfectly wonderful. That was kind of what it was intended for. But certainly for you to do with whatever you wish. And another, it's attached here with another paper clip with lace on it. A piece of notebook paper that I like the way this looks. Just kind of adds to the texture and the fun. So rather than cut it off, I just tucked it in and left it there. This is a doily, just like we use for pastries or cakes or something. It's just there. This is the center of the signature, and I left the strings and the tie there for interest. This is the other side of that paper, and I see here that I joined it together. I joined two pieces of paper together there to create this. So there's the frayed edge on both sides. Normally that wouldn't happen. This is called a belly band, where there's a band of paper that either goes vertically or horizontally. And then just for fun, I made a little band there and tucked in this piece of paper that you could write on, and put this little piece, tiny little piece of crochet, like that's my thumb, so it's just a little bigger than my thumb. And then inside is just a piece of paper to write on. It's a new, kind of made to look old and shabby in the style of these kinds of journals. This is the other side of that library paper. This is just a piece of trim that goes over onto the other side. I made a little flower and attached some, I think this is called Turkish ribbon, this style of ribbon that has two edges and then gold down the center. I believe it's called Turkish ribbon. And this is just a piece of paper kind of tucked in there. And some lace on the bottom, another petticoat. There's an opening there, so you could set something in there as a little pocket. This is the other side of that, and this is a vintage ledger here. Nice paper. It feels nice and interesting. Again, it's been made to look more worn than it really is, to keep it in the style of the journal. More note paper. This is a wraparound pocket, adhered with another paper clip with lace on it. So on the inside of this pocket, there's some journaling space. It's made from a piece of dictionary paper, maybe actually two pieces, now that I look at it, probably two pieces glued together for strength. It's a pocket here with a tag in it, some pretty embellishments here. And the same thing on the other side, another pocket of a similar design. And another piece of embellishment. Hook that on. I'm going to move it up. I can see where the other one is in the four, so I'm spacing them accordingly. This is the other side of the music paper with some more of the student or teacher's writing on it. And then on the other side, tucked in there, is page 97 of this vintage journal. It's more of the same from the scrap I showed you before. And page 98. The paper feels, it's sturdy and it feels so nice. And then here's another altered paper clip. This one has a flower on it and the word kindness on the back. And it has a little, it's a bulb pin and a piece of seam binding and a dragonfly charm. It just goes there. Again, it's made to stick out the top, or you could use them on the side. On this particular journal, I wouldn't suggest the side because of the way it closes, but certainly use it however you wish. And then the last page has this wraparound envelope. It has some decorations here on it, and a piece of paper tucked inside, and pretty lace and flower decoration on the back. This is eyelash trim, and then some handmade flowers with paper there. This tucks on here, and that's how that side looks. I think this is very pretty to me. It's a very pretty page with all of those elements together. And the back pocket has just a few more little things in it in case you want to decorate a few more pages by yourself. A flower and some words that say blessed, and a piece of lace in this glassine envelope. And then here's a letter to the recipient. It's a bookmaker's letter that tells you what on earth you might do with a journal like this. And that's that. And then the back pocket is again the envelope part of the cover, and in here there's just a more plain things for you to use if you wish. An index card, a piece of book page that's actually 2 pages adhered together. This is an antique book, so it wasn't very sturdy on its own, but 2 pages put together is quite sturdy. And then another just blank piece of paper from my father-in-law's stash. So that's there for you to do with what you wish. And I lined up these paper clips so that they kind of were staggered throughout the edge, as you can see there. And to close it, you just pull that across, wrap it around, and then tuck that in. So that is Emily's journal, and I hope that you love it. Bye.